And we're here with Louisville Lacrosse's Casey Madura. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to meet with us today, Casey. So we know you just graduated, being the senior and everything, spent your last 4 years on the lacrosse team here with U of L. Just first, kind of what brought you here to Louisville?
So definitely lacrosse. That was the main kind of reason I even took interest in Louisville. I didn't really know where I wanted to go, and then my first visit actually was here, and just absolutely fell in love with how much athletics were supported, the school spirit here, and the opportunities that I would have. I knew I wanted to study sports management or something along those lines, so getting to know the SPAD program here was awesome, and I just kind of immediately came down here, immediately fell in love, and it was really hard for any other school to measure up to it.
So you definitely talked about how, well, with the SPAD program you really enjoyed. The SPAD program is actually pretty nationally known. Can you talk about a little bit what you did with them?
Yeah, so I really enjoyed the SPAD program here. What I liked most about it is I knew I wanted to go in the sports industry, just a matter of what I wanted to do, and I think the program really does a great job of exposing you to every different type of the industry. So, we take sport finance, sport law, sports marketing, just to learn kind of every different channel that you can take, and I really enjoyed it because I learned a lot of information about the sports industry and what it actually is like, and it kind of really helped me narrow down the direction that I wanted to go in.
During your time, you faced a few obstacles such as injuries. You had the cancer scare recently. Actually, we can kind of see where you had the ACL injury
Yes.
there on your knee.
Yeah.
We can see a little bit of the scarring on your neck from the surgery. Just can you talk about a little bit with the different injuries and then the cancer that you had?
So it was actually funny because I had never had a serious injury before. I think the worst injury I had was I sprained my ankle sophomore year of high school, but I could still play. So kind of, and surviving 3.5 years here injury free was great. And then I came back to school January this year for obviously my final season, and I found out that I was actually diagnosed with thyroid cancer and had to get my thyroid removed. And then right before I got diagnosed with that, I tore my ACL. And so it was kind of crazy to go from not having any clue what it was like to be injured to kind of having double duty, but it all kind of worked out. I had great doctors who did a great job. I'm cancer free. The ACL is healing really nicely. So it was just great, the support that I had from my team and my coaching staff. They were unbelievable and just so amazing that they still allowed me to be such a major part of the team, even though I was obviously struggling, going through 2 injuries kind of at the same time. But it was a really interesting experience, but without my teammates and the support of my coaching staff, they just made it so much fun for me to come to practice every day and still love the sport even though I wasn't physically playing.
Going through those obstacles can definitely kind of take both a physical tear but as well as a mental tear. Can you just talk about what was going through your mind when all that happened and what you were feeling?
So it kind of sounds crazy, but I think I was more upset about the ACL. The C word, cancer, is definitely scary, but I just kind of had total faith, and it just kind of happened really quickly, so I didn't even really have time to process it. But that was just kind of, I knew what I had to do. The ACL was just a little bit more devastating, and I know it sounds crazy, but it was just because I knew that my senior year was finished and done before the season even started. So it was definitely frustrating at times, but like I was saying before, my teammates just were so unbelievable, so supportive. They really gave me the opportunity to still be their captain and still help them lead to the success that they did have. And Teeter, Kay, Renee, the entire Katie, Paul, the whole coaching staff just really had my back and helped me kind of get through each day. And they knew I still wanted to be the same Casey Madura, and they allowed that to happen and kind of did anything that they could to help that happen. So it definitely, I was in a better situation because of my teammates and the people around me.
You had a nice presence on the sideline every game, home and away. whether you're cheering or you're up moving around, hopping around on the crutches there for a little bit later
Yeah.
on with the brace, even trying to coach a little bit here and there. How do you think that may have helped the team these past couple of years with some injuries?
I think it just kind of shows. I've actually learned from my own peers, Julia Wood and Taylor Webster, them going through Taylor went through 2 ACLs, Julia went through an ACL and kind of like a meniscus flare-up, but I learned from them, seeing them go through that struggle of tearing their ACLs, and just seeing how they handled it, and you just would have never known that anything was wrong, and they still wanted to be so involved in the team that I knew that when that happened to me that I needed to take that role on and just be there for my team. Being captain, it was definitely hard because I wanted to be out there on the field with them, but I still found my ways to lead even off the field.
As you, along with the rest of the seniors this year, were a very close-knit group. You were always seen on the field together, off the field, seemed to be inseparable at times. Now that y'all are all going your separate ways around the country, how do you all plan to still stay in touch and keep up with each other?
Well, I think everyone's kind of sick of hearing it by now, but we're obviously super close. We're all best friends. I mean, those girls, I literally consider them my sisters, and I think that bond that we do have is what will keep us together. I mean, we talk all the time. Yeah, we won't physically be together, but I think because of just the bond that we have and how special we are to each other, I could never see that falling apart.
You got graduation coming up here in a few days. Congratulations
Thank
about
you.
that. Have you already been practicing your walk and everything with the dress and heels and the robe on?
A little. I don't know if I'm ready for heels yet. The knee doesn't really like heels, but we'll see. But yeah, I got my dress. We took pictures on the field yesterday. It was a good day.
Definitely don't want you falling down while you're walking across stage.
No.
Did you practice your little graduation wave yet as you're walking across
Oh,
stage?
I don't know if I can do the wave. I'm like too. I don't know. I feel like a little too awkward. The whole fam's coming in though, so that'll be good. I'm sure they'll be screaming and waving to me, so I'll probably give them a little.
So no Miss America wave, just a little tiny.
Little
wave,
head nod maybe, yeah.
With graduation coming up, you do have plans to be moving up to New York City here shortly.
Yes.
With the move up to New York City, is there anything that excites you or scares you with the move?
I'm obviously excited. It's a completely new adventure, and I think that's why I'm so excited. I've absolutely loved my time here. It's just weird going into a transition of kind of like a new life. I'm obviously gonna miss my senior class just because seeing them every day, it's gonna be weird not seeing them every day, but I'm really excited. I'm living with my really good family friends and one of their teammates and a girl that she knows from back home, so just meeting new people, having new experiences, I'm extremely excited. I'm originally from New Jersey, so New York City, I've grown up going there, absolutely loved it, and it was always a goal of mine to, kind of start my life in New York City.
One of the perks, or sometimes maybe a disadvantage with graduating, is you do have to go out in the real world, get a job, start working. What type of job are you looking to get into?
So last summer I was in a corporate hospitality position at Madison Square Garden. I was one of their interns and absolutely loved it. So I definitely want to do something along the lines of working in suites or corporate hospitality. I just really liked the whole client relations side, getting to know the clients and building the relationships with that. And I guess I kind of liked it because it transitions really nicely of being an athlete. You have expectations and you have teammates that help you meet those expectations, and I think that that's just something that I really enjoyed, and I love being around people, getting to know people, getting people to smile, love it all. So something along those lines I would definitely see myself doing.
In your free time outside of work, with lacrosse being a pretty popular sport up in the Northeast, do you think you're going to try and get involved whether coaching or refereeing or just something on the side up there?
It might be a little hard in the city. Maybe this summer I'll return back to my club team, maybe do something with them. The girls that I'm living with, we all played lacrosse. 3 of them played on Columbia and 1 played on Washington and Lee, so I'm sure we'll end up at some Columbia lacrosse games or some sort of lacrosse games. I'm definitely coming back here for some, so lacrosse will definitely not be out of my life in any way.
Now, baseball and softball players are pretty known with their walk-up songs and what those can represent to them. If you were to have a walk-up song for yourself, what would it be?
Oh no. Wow. That is a tough question. There's a lot.
Is there a type of genre you'd be looking
I think I would have to do Kill the Lights, just because. No, I lied. My goal song, totally scratch that. My goal song is Let's Get Loud by Jennifer Lopez. Hands down, that's my walk-up song. Gets me going every single time. They surprised me on senior day, and normally we each have our individual goal songs, and they all played my goal song, and it meant the world to me because they know how much I love that song. I try to force everyone to listen to it. I love it. So yeah, Let's Get Loud.
So when you come back and visit next season, when you're walking in the stadium, we're going to be playing Let's Get Loud,
yes,
right? Yes,
definitely.
You played lacrosse pretty much your whole life. Grew up playing it a lot. Is there another sport that if you could go back and choose to play a different sport, would there be one?
Ooh. I played soccer in high school. Grew up also playing soccer. So I think I would go back and do that. I think if I were to start a new sport though, like go back in time, I think I would try volleyball. I know a bunch of the volleyball players here. Just seems like a cool sport. I don't think I'm tall enough, but we could make it work.
Would you be afraid about getting hit in the face if you were playing volleyball?
After being a soccer goalie in high school, doesn't scare me.
Took a few hits every once in a while.
Yeah.
Playing soccer.
Gotta stop it. Hands, face, whatever, as long as it doesn't go in the goal.
With your 4 years at U of L, if you had to pick one memory that stands out the most, that's your favorite, what would that one be for you?
One memory? Oh gosh, there's so many. I think senior day. I know that's kind of the go-to answer, but just being around my team was just so awesome, and just seeing how much they cared about us was just such an amazing feeling. It made me think and reflect on all the past senior days and how much I've absolutely loved my teammates here. Anyone that I've crossed paths with here, I've just really appreciated getting to know them, and I've been so lucky to be a part of such incredible teams my 4 years. So I think senior day would probably be the go-to memory for me.
And there we have Casey, our lacrosse alum, as well as a future volleyball star.
Yes,
that's going to be hitting up the Big Apple here in a few weeks. Thank you for joining us today, Casey.
Thank you.